What's up, everybody? Welcome to Human Innovation Tarot. My name is Eddie with Imagine Life Development Center, and today I want to share a video with you guys that was taken from a recent live tarot reading, and it's about the power of influence. So I like to ask people what they think the most powerful force in the universe is, and sometimes people will say love, or sometimes they'll say maybe fear or hate, or some other answer. But these are forms of influence. The most powerful force in the universe that affects everything. It affects me, it affects you, it affects the solar system, it affects the universe, it affects the trees, the plants, the weather. It affects everything. And that power is influence. Everything in life is influencing everything else in life. We're constantly just going through every moment of every passing moment, every second of every day that's going by, we are interacting in a form of influence right now. You're watching this video. This is a form of influence. The temperature in this room, the air, the oxygen, the things going in my body, the things going on in your body, to the tiniest level at the most microcosmic level, to the greatest level, to the macrocosmic level. All forms of influence are happening at all times. And so when we learn to understand the level of influence, the power of the level of influence that we have and that which is affecting us, then we start to become aware of what's really going on in life. We have the ability to tap into our power and the power of influence that we have to influence the outcomes that we desire in life, to get what we want and to avoid what we don't, but also to understand how we are being influenced and have been influenced in the past, which has perhaps shaped and influenced a version of us that we currently are that is not in our highest good. In other words, it's not helping us get where we want to go in life. It's not helping us obtain the things that we desire, right? So this video is an example, again, from a live tarot reading that explains kind of in kind of a real life application of how this would work. So just want to give you guys a quick warning though. There is some adult language in this video. And in fact, most all of my videos, there's some adult language. I get very passionate and very fired up in my tarot readings. And so if there are any sensitive ears nearby, this is just a heads up and a warning. So, you can, act accordingly if you need to. So here's the video. I hope that you enjoy your reading. Again, talking about the most powerful force in the universe, which is influence, which is why I specifically put this card in this deck that I created. That's why I made an influence card for this deck that I use. And this one over here is just the updated, the 2.0 version of this one. It's just for whatever reason. Sometimes, I don't know why, sometimes it's like the divine's like, hey, you need to use that one versus this one. And I guess it could be certain images feedback differently. I don't know. But I just go with my intuition. So, it told me to grab this one and not the new one that I just made for myself. Because this one actually has more cards. But the divine's like, no, I want you to use that one. So anyways, so this card specifically in this deck is talking about what I was just saying to Hello a second ago, that the most powerful force in the universe is influence. Because we're all being influenced all the time, whether we like it or not. We're influencing things, things are influencing us all the time. And so inevitably, what happens is the more powerful force, meaning the stronger force of influence, wins out. So if I can influence you into believing something, being a certain way, doing something, then I'm the one with the power. You're not in control, I'm in control because I'm influencing you. Now, it's not direct. I can't control you because you have free will. And this is one of the things that people, they want to like bitch and moan and scream in the law of attraction community and the manifestation community. It's like, oh, you're not messing with free will, blah, 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 blah. you can manifest a specific person back, and you can do this and you can do that. And basically they're essentially bullshitting you into believing that you can somehow change somebody's free will, and you can't. And then you have other people, just like there are people out there that believe in a flat earth, and they're like, you don't have free will. Free will doesn't even exist. It's like, Jesus Christ, man. Everything is, there's some kind of bullshit for everything on the internet, for sure. The reality is there is free will. I don't think the earth is flat, but I'm going to leave that one alone. But there is free will. And while you can't directly change someone's free will, the next most powerful thing that you can do is influence. Is you can influence somebody. Now, you can do that energetically, you can do that directly, you can do that indirectly, you can do that subconsciously through trance, which is what hypnosis is, right? We do that all the time. Driving in your car, staring at the white lines, you check out, and then next thing you know, you arrive at wherever you were driving to, and you don't remember getting there. Like, I don't remember how to get here. But you drove there. You went into a trance, right? So why am I saying all this to you? Because what the divine is wanting you to know, and this is key. I know it sounds like I'm giving you this tangent. It's like, okay, where are you going with this? Okay, I get it. Get to the point. Well, here's the point. This is very important. If you don't understand this card right here, then the rest of your reading isn't going to matter. Because this is the problem right here. This is the most important card in your reading. Because this will continue to be a problem. It's going to continue to show up in your life again and again and again until you realize this. Until you realize, because this, literally just like in the reading that I just did before yours, I had the cards out, I had the magician card out, and I had the devil, and I went on the big spiel. I see even got the deck over here still off to the side, where I went in here and I pulled out the devil and I pulled out the magician, and I said, these are the two most important cards in the tarot deck. And I went on that whole spiel, and I'm not going to go through it all again, but I am going to grab the devil card. I'm just going to leave it on the table tonight. Apparently we're going to be talking about this asshole. Tonight, which is fine. So he's going to stay out tonight because apparently we're going to be talking about him. And I was taught, so in the last reading, it's the same thing, is learning the difference between these two things, these influence. What is influencing you? And where is it leaving you? Are you being influenced? Are you the one influencing yourself? Or are you being influenced outside of yourself more? Who has the power? Do you have the power, or does this fucker have the power? And if he has the power, then this could be anything. And in your case specifically, in your situation specifically, it was this person, this asshole, this fake He-Man looking dude. He looks kind of like the old school He-Man toys. And maybe he's an asshole because maybe his sword couldn't stand in the upright position. I don't know. Maybe that's why he was an asshole. He was pissed off because his sword didn't work. I don't know. But the devil was attached to this asshole, and this asshole, where did it go? Did this to you. Put 10 swords right in your back. And then, because of what they did to you, you became her. You became a shell of yourself. So then, this guy wasn't done. He's like, ooh, I'm going to use this asshole to get you to become her. Right there. You're my bitch now. You're my slave. I got you in my chains. So now, then, because of what happened here, they jump this guy who's already inside of every single one of us. Every single one of us, between our two ears. Then he jumps in over here. And he starts pouring gas on the fire by making you do this. Overthink everything. But it's not just overthinking. This is also the pain that you've been through. It's not just overthinking, it's the pain. The pain of betrayal, the pain of so many things. And there's a lot of lies. A lot of lies. There's a lot of lies that you believe. And some of the lies pre-existed. Some of the lies existed before this man came into your life. But because of how he treated you and some of the things that he said and some of the things that he did, it reinforced the lies. It gave those lies even more power. So you believed in them even more. So instead of this man coming the chains of those lies by helping you reinforce that you're actually her upright, he did the exact opposite. He joined forces. Well, he didn't really join forces. It was just this fucker in disguise. So this dude shows up like this. He's like, this is who he really is, but he shows up looking like He-Man, like Fabio. You know, it's Giga Chad Fabio, and he's like, hey baby, what's up, bish? You want to come ride the train? You want to come ride the stinky train? And you're like, hi babe. Damn boy, what you do? You eat that broccoli? Shit, you got that 6-pack? Damn, oh look, you got them flowers over there too. He's like, yeah, baby, look, I'm gonna put some of them flowers right here. I got these flowers, I done cut them and put them up in your hair, girl. Damn, you hella fine. Next thing you know, y'all be right after the sunset, and this little bastard's laughing. He's sneaking out over the shoulder like, yeah, I got you now. Right there you are. I got you now. I got you now. And then he did whatever the hell he did, which basically destroyed your confidence, it destroyed your self-image, it destroyed your heart, and reinforced a lot of old lies that you already had that pre-existed him. So before he even came into your life, there was already shit that you believed about yourself that you didn't want to believe was true, but he kind of came in and poured gas on that fire, so to speak, and so you kind of believed it. It's like, oh man, maybe it is true. Not that the parts that are separate from that he did weren't painful enough, because clearly, I mean, it doesn't get more painful than 10 swords and 10 wands. I mean, the only other thing that's missing here is like a tower, but it's implied. These two cards together is essentially the same thing as a tower energy. You got a 10 of wands and a 10 of swords. Basically, you've been through a fucking tower. I mean, it doesn't. The card doesn't have to be on the table for the energy to be implied. So you've been through essentially a tower with this person. But here is the silver lining. The silver lining is now you get to understand this. You get to take your power back, because there's always a treasure in a pile of shit, and you never lose if you learn. So let's learn something. Let's find the treasure in the pile of shit. You had hopes that this guy was going to be your forever. That's implied here. I see that. The 10 of Pentacles, the 2 of Cups, all of that. I can see the image of the things. I'm going to put Mr. Asshole over here. Actually, you know what? No, we're going to slide him where he belongs, underneath this dude. There you go. That's where he belongs. It's implied. I can see it. I can see that you had expectations, that you thought you had a future with this person, and I mean, to put it really, really lightly, the rug got pulled out from underneath you. That's an extreme exaggeration of what really happened. Under exaggeration, rather, of what happened. So what the divine wants to show you is, okay, this is what we call spiritual alchemy. So you've been handed a big stinky pile of shit. Well, alchemy is the spiritual art of turning shit into treasure. That's what this card is about. The divine is saying you can only move forward continuing to feel this and this, because of this. Meaning, it is your belief in the power that you give the meaning, and the power that you give to the meaning about what's happened here. And when this guy is telling you, when this guy is influencing you, this guy is basically told you the meaning, then you're fucked. Versus you saying, wait, no. I'm not taking answers from you anymore. I'm going to get these answers myself. Because this guy's already told you. This guy's been telling you the whole time, which is why you've been in this energy, the Ten of Wands energy, and the Ten of Swords energy. This guy is the person who's been in charge, telling you all the shitty things and ruminating on it. Like how are you going to feel any different when the story that's playing in your mind on repeat over and over and over again is a shit show and a horror story, which is what most people do. That's what he's doing. He's basically got all the bad shit on repeat in your mind. All the arguments, all the fights, the betrayals, the backstabs, whatever this person did to you, and all the shit all the self-hatred that you've had before he came into your life. All the things that you said to yourself, the ways that you shit on yourself, you beat yourself up, the way that you treated yourself, which is why you attracted him, by the way. And that's the mirror. This is the lesson in the mirror. You attracted this man who treated you this way because this guy was already inside of you, calling out for this guy to come and basically show you what you were already doing to yourself. And I know that's a really hard, brutal truth, but the truth is what sets you free. So recovery is here because the divine is wanting to show you where your power is, but you have to see it before you can conquer it. We can't change something that we're unaware of. But once we see it, once we come face to face with it, once we call the demon by name, we have something. We go, oh, okay, I know what this is. Now I can fight it. It's not this invisible force that I feel powerless to do anything about because I feel powerless. It's like, no, you're not powerless. You're fucking power. You're the divine. You're an expression of the divine. You can't possibly be more powerful. You're not powerless. And so this guy comes into your life to basically bring the belief that you had before he ever came into your life. He came into your life to show you, to bring up the unconscious things that were already going on inside of you so that you could become aware of the things that were going on inside of you. But see, most of us, we live with our self-loathing, our self-hatred, our insecurities, our jealousy, our envy. We live with our fears. We live with all of our shit for so long. We become one with them. And because we're so used to being that way, we don't see those blind spots anymore. So we need something massive to come smack us in the face and show us what's really going on. Which is why you don't attract what you want, you attract who you are. And people get pissed off left and right when I say that because they'll go, I'm nothing like that person. I would never do that. I would never treat somebody like that. And I'm like, wait. Time out. Hold on. Just because I said you don't attract what you want, you attract who you are. I didn't say that you behave the same way that they behave, because behavior is a symptom. Behavior is a symptom. It's not the problem. You can have two people who have the same core problem who behave entirely different. One person, they shut down, they stonewall, they pretend like problems don't exist. Somebody else, they laugh it off, they turn it into a joke. Life, they don't take anything serious in life. Everything is just a joke. Everything is funny. Some people become angry, violent, and aggressive, punch holes in the wall and get in people's faces. Some people medicate, check out, they drink or they party, they go sleep with everything that's got, a dick or a vagina. Like there's lots we focus on behavior. That's the problem with humans. We get so focused on the way that somebody reacts or behaves, which is just a symptom. That's the outward expression of what's going on inside of them, right? You don't attract somebody based on their behavior. You attract somebody based on what's going on inside of them. And so when you attract somebody into your life who's got the same The same self-hatred, the same fear, the same insecurities, the same doubt, the same I'm not good enough. It's the same devil that's inside of us is inside of them. That's why we attracted them into our lives. Like attracts like. That's how it works. That's a law of energy. But there's a spiritual meaning. It's not just, oh, hey, like attracts like, and I'm fucked because, hey, I attracted this toxic shit into my life. It's, hey, again, what's influencing us? Well, let's learn from this. What is this thing, this person mirroring back to me? Well, it just showed me my problems. Thank God. Because now that I'm aware of these things that are going inside of me, I can confront the fucking lie, which is what this is. All this shit that you've been torturing yourself with, my friend, all of this shit that you've been torturing yourself with, what this person did can only occur in that moment. I'll give you an example. Let's say, this actually happened to me. So I'm going to give you a real life example. When I was 16 years old, I was on my way to church with my very first girlfriend, hit by a drunk driver. My girlfriend dies, her sister dies, and I basically half dead on life support. Now, that occurred one time, and it was over. When the car hit, everything happened in a split second, and then it was done. There was only one infraction. But the effects of that one infraction potentially lived on in my mind, my subconscious, forever. So, while yes, the man that was drunk crashed his car into my car, that happened. But he only did that one time. I'm the one who put myself through the additional suffering after that occurred. He had nothing else to do with it. What I did with that experience had nothing to do with him after it happened. He caused that one, he did one thing, he did the one thing. And everything else that I did with that experience was on me after it. I can't blame him for that. I can't blame that guy and go, yeah, but I had to live with this and this. It's like, no, he had nothing to do with that. It's not his brain. It's not his pattern. It's not his subconscious. It's not his emotions. It's not his trauma. Yes, he caused it, but I only can suffer for as much as I give my power away to the trauma so that I can suffer. Or I can say, because there's two options here. This guy runs the show, and then I'm fucked because I'm insured that I'm going to suffer. Not only will I continue to suffer with this asshole in control, but I will probably attract more things in my life to continue to suffer because he's in control. That's the power of influence. Or I take my power and I find the treasure in the pile of shit, which is why the recovery is here for you, which is basically saying, hey, but let's find the empowering meaning in this. Let's look for the empowering meaning. And that might take some effort. But when you start to take your power back by realizing that, hey, the most powerful force in the universe is influence, and I have all the power because I'm the one who's controlling how much influence is allowed. You don't have to let this influence you. It's a choice. And I know I'm not saying it's easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Okay, so I don't want to be clear here. I'm not saying it's like, oh, well, okay, well, I'll just, snap my fingers and I'll just be okay with it all. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that it's possible. And we all have to start somewhere. That's why it's called a healing journey. Recovery doesn't happen overnight. You cut yourself, you don't heal overnight. You break a bone, bones don't heal overnight. You get heartbroken, devastated. Your emotional pain doesn't go away overnight. It's a process. So I'm not here to promote or to sound like I'm here implying that there's any different process, but I'm saying that what most people do is they give their power completely away to this, and they choose and they live in suffering well beyond what was needed. Like, you don't have to spend the rest of even April suffering from something that happened. It's possible. You certainly don't have to spend the rest of 2025, and you certainly don't have to spend the rest of your life feeling like her. Like you're broken, that you're all fucked up, you're not good enough, that, you're just going to keep attracting the same thing, whatever the beliefs are. Because you're not the Queen of Cups in reverse, you're her. This is who you are. This is who you really are. You've just forgotten because of this influence. And so the work that's required here is to confront the lies and the shit. And I'm not going to tell you it's easy, but I'm going to tell you it's possible. And so the only way that you can know that you have power is to actually use the power that you don't know that you have to see that, holy shit, I actually have this power. It's just like a child learning to walk. You had to learn to do it. I had to learn to do it. Everybody else in this chat had to learn to do it. We tried to stand up and we fell down. We tried to stand up, we fell down. We tried to stand up, we fell down. Or it's like, well, I was too young, I don't remember. Okay, you probably remember if you've ever learned to ride a bike before, you probably remember that. I remember my dad, my front yard, my bike, and I had training wheels on. And he stood with me the whole time. And I went and I went and I went. And we did it like 5 times. And then he just stayed behind me, but he didn't touch me. And I did by myself. And then we took the training wheels off, and then I was riding the bike. I learned to ride a bike. Was the power already inside of me to ride the bike? Yes or no? Yes. That power was already inside of me. So I just had to realize that I had the ability to do something that I didn't know I had the power to do. And when I tried, when it's like, okay, I'm doing something that I don't know that I have the power to do it, as I tried, which is courage, doing something scared, doing something uncertain, doing something that I've never tried to do before, but as I did it, and I realized the power that I had, I became empowered, which is this. This is you. And you. This is you and your power. And this isn't just your reading, by the way. This is the second time tonight that we're literally having the same a very similar conversation. So obviously this is a theme tonight. Influence is the theme of the night, apparently. So what's going to happen is this is how you do this. To summarize, there's all kinds of tools, strategies, skills, all kinds of things, but for the sake of time, I can't get into it all. But what I can tell you is the way that you do it is by confronting, and you just have to be real. And this is the part that you're going to want to resist, because it doesn't feel good to start doing an audit, an inventory of all your mental shit and all your internal shit. Like really getting honest with yourself. Like, what do you say to yourself? Am I ugly? Am I fat? Am I stupid? Am I dumb? Am I this? Am I that? What you say to yourself. You know what you believe. You know what all, and maybe it's not self-related stuff. Maybe it's external fear stuff. I'll never have love. I'll always be alone. I'll never be good enough. Whatever the statements are, get into them, confront them, write them down, look at each one. And then the way that you do this by stepping in your power is you're going to have to learn to be a neutral observer of yourself. Neutral observer, meaning taking yourself, emotionally detaching yourself from the experience and actually just looking at it from a detached place. And I know that I'm not saying that you're going to do it the first time, because if you've never done it before, it takes a few times to get it, but you'll get it. Like riding a bike. You didn't know that you could ride the bike, but you did ride the bike. You don't know that you can do this, but you can do it. You emotionally detach yourself from the statements, from the pain, from the event, all the things that have hurt you. You emotionally detach yourself and you become a neutral observer. And from the place of being a neutral observer, you start asking questions, empowering questions. How? How is this true? How is this true? And then you're going to have to give yourself evidence, definitive evidence. I need 10 legit pieces of absolute, emphatical, hardcore evidence that this is true from the detached place. Because if you're not detached, you'll know, because this fucker will be on the scene in a hot split second. He'll be right there being, oh yeah, you know you're that. The minute you start looking for evidence, he's going to show up trying to throw all this bullshit at you again, going, yeah, remember this? That's why. Yeah, you're right. Oh, you're a piece of shit because this. Oh yeah, you're ugly and you're dumb and you're that. Remember that? Yeah. It's like, no. You're going to have to stay detached, because this asshole is going to show up. The minute you start looking for evidence, he's going to show up to tell you. That's not being a detective. A detective is somebody who's neutral. They just take in information without placing judgment upon that information. That's why it's neutral. It's unbiased. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just information. That's it. Like, if I say white rubber band, white rubber band. Oh, okay, Eddie. White rubber band. No context, no meaning, not good, not bad. It just is. It's just a white rubber band. That's the place that you have to get to with all the shit going on. Detached. And as you look, you force yourself to look for absolute truth evidence that those things are true and real. From a detached place, you're going to start to see shit you've never seen before. Because you're not going to be able to, there's no way you're going to be able to give yourself 10 legit reasons why any of that shit's true. You might find one or two, you might even find three, because we're not perfect people. And hell, all of us, when we go into self-preservation, we all do dumb shit and we all hurt people. You know, even people that hurt us more than we hurt them, we still, retaliate, which is still painful at some degree. So, like, you'll probably find 1, 2, maybe 3 things, and they're like, oh, but that's not what I'm talking about. You need to find 10, no less than 10, not 1, not 2, not 3, because he'll jump all over it. Look, you found something completely discredited. That's how he works. So you're going to make a list of all your shit. And this list, by the way, are the things that this person, and if you do this exercise correctly, I promise you this. If you do this exercise correctly, and I know right now you're going to tell me I'm full of shit, but if you do this exercise correctly, you'll come back later and you'll actually thank me. You'll be like, oh my God, this person was a fucking blessing. Oh my God. They reflected all this stuff to me that I did not see. And now that I see it, here I am. I'm encountering it. I'm observing it. And I'm realizing it's all shit. It's all lies. And that basically most of it was stuff that I was already believing about myself before they even showed up. So this person wasn't my attacker. They actually were my savior. Because I would have kept believing this shit about myself if they hadn't showed up. I would have kept, torturing myself, putting myself in hell with this fucker, had this person not shown up to throw this all in my face so that I could have an awareness of it so that I could deal with it. That's what this is. This is you coming to your own rescue. You getting your power back. And the beauty of this is, once you do this, you'll never do this again. Never again. When you get your power back and you realize this, you will never learn this lesson again. I'm not saying that there won't be other lessons in life, but you will never go through this lesson again. And you will never attract one of these again. Well, really one of these. Which means you'll never go through this again. Or this 10 of Wands again. Or this 10 of Swords again. So that is basically what's all been playing into your overthinking, your pain, and basically, attracting superficial shit into your life and feeling like a fake, like a fraud, feeling like your life is fake, feeling like your life is a fraud, feeling like you attract fake, superficial people, all that shit. These two things, a fake, unfulfilling life, where you feel like you have to fake it and you have to make it, because what's really going on inside of you, what most people don't see, is that you fucking hate yourself. That's how you've been feeling. Hey guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. If you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. All the other information is in the description box below. And as always, my friends,
I'm not a bloody psychic.